The secret of the ancient temple. The sun beat down relentlessly on the canopy of the Amazon, filtering through the dense leaves in dappled patterns of light and shadow. Dr. Aris Thorne, a man whose life was dedicated to dusty maps and forgotten civilizations, pushed a damp lock of hair from his brow. His worn leather satchel, crammed with tools and notebooks, thumped rhythmically against his hip with each step. For weeks, he and his small, tenacious team have been hacking through this relentless green labyrinth, following the faint, cryptic clues left behind by a disgraced 19th century explorer. Their destination? The rumored Temple of the Whispering Stones, a legendary structure said to hold secrets that could redefine the history of ancient South America. Most scholars dismissed it as myth, a fanciful tale spun by adventurers desperate for funding. But Aris, guided by intuition and an old, faded journal, believed. Beside him, Alara Vance, his brilliant young protege, navigated with an old compass and a satellite map that seemed more artistic interpretation than accurate guide. Her sharp eyes scanned the undergrowth. According to these coordinates, Aris, we should be close. The journal mentioned a cascade of emerald tears near the entrance. Just as she spoke, the muffled roar of falling water reached them. Pushing through a final curtain of vines, they emerged into a breathtaking clearing. Before them, a massive waterfall plunged into a crystalline pool, its spray creating a permanent mist that shimmered with rainbows. And nestled behind the veil of water, almost swallowed by the jungle, stood the temple. It was unlike anything Aris had ever seen, not built of conventional stone, but of a dark, obsidian-like material that seemed to absorb the light, making it appear older, darker, impossibly ancient. Intricate carvings adorned its facade, swirling patterns that pulsed with an almost imperceptible inner luminescence. No human hand could have sculpted such perfection. Impossible, Aris breathed, his voice hushed with awe. The workmanship, it's beyond anything known. They carefully approached, the ground beneath their feet feeling strangely smooth, almost polished. The air grew cooler, carrying the scent of damp earth and something else, something metallic and faintly sweet. At the base of the temple, a single archway beckoned, devoid of a door. Inside, the light was dim, but the luminescence from the carvings provided an ethereal glow. The corridor was narrow, leading to a central chamber dominated by a colossal tiered pyramid. Around its base, 7 pedestals stood empty, each bearing a unique, complex symbol. "This is it," Alara whispered, consulting the journal. The journal speaks of the 7 keys. The explorer Alastair Finch believed they were elemental symbols, hidden within the jungle and beyond. He only found 2 before he vanished. They spent days meticulously mapping the temple, studying the carvings and deciphering fragmented glyphs that seemed to describe a powerful, benevolent entity, a guardian of the temple's true purpose. The more they learned, the more they realized this wasn't merely an archaeological find. It was a sanctuary, a place of immense power. One evening, while examining a particularly intricate section of the wall, Aris noticed a slight indentation, almost imperceptible. He pressed it, and with a soft, whirring sound, a section of the wall slid aside, revealing a hidden compartment. Inside, Nestled on a velvet cushion was a beautifully crafted orb of polished river stone, cool and smooth to the touch. It hummed faintly. "The first key," Eris exclaimed, his eyes alight. "Finch mentioned a stone of flowing waters. This must be it." They tried placing it on one of the pedestals. As the orb settled into its designated spot, the symbol on the pedestal glowed brighter, and a low hum resonated through the chamber. Emboldened, they redoubled their efforts, using Finch's cryptic notes as a guide. Over the next few weeks, they followed clues that led them to treacherous mountain peaks, underground rivers, and sun-scorched plains. They faced venomous snakes, navigating crumbling ancient bridges, and even outsmarting a group of treasure hunters who had also caught wind of the temple's existence. Slowly, painstakingly, they gathered the remaining 6 keys: a shard of desert glass that pulsed with inner fire, a feather from a mythical rainforest bird, a crystal from a deep earth cavern, a polished piece of volcanic rock, a compressed sphere of pure air, and a rare bioluminescent fungus. Each key was extraordinary, imbued with a distinct energy. Finally, all 7 keys rested on their respective pedestals. The central pyramid began to glow with an intense, warm light, and the swirling carvings on its surface came alive, forming a majestic image of a towering tree, its roots deep in the earth, its branches reaching for the stars. The ground vibrated gently. A segment of the pyramid's peak retracted, revealing a large central cavity. Within it, suspended in mid-air, was a shimmering, pulsating sphere of pure energy. It wasn't gold or jewels, it was something far more profound. "What is it?" Alara whispered, mesmerized. Eris stepped forward, his heart pounding. "It's not a treasure, Alara. It's knowledge, pure, unadulterated understanding." As they gazed into the sphere, images flooded their minds, not just the history of the temple's builders, but the secrets of their advanced civilization, their deep connection to the earth, their understanding of energy, healing, and sustainable living. They saw how they had flourished for millennia, not through conquest or extraction, but through harmony. They saw solutions to global warming, cures for diseases, ways to generate limitless, clean energy. The secret was not an object to be plundered, but a legacy of wisdom to be shared. A voice, not heard with their ears, but felt within their minds, echoed, "We built this not to hide, but to preserve, not for wealth, but for wisdom. When humanity is ready, the knowledge shall be revealed." Eris and Alara realized the weight of their discovery. This wasn't about fame or fortune, it was about stewardship. The ancient civilization hadn't vanished, they had merely transitioned, leaving behind this repository for a future generation deemed worthy. They returned from the jungle not with chests of gold, but with a profound understanding that transformed their lives. They published their findings not of a lost city filled with artifacts, but of a philosophical and scientific revelation. Initially met with skepticism, the undeniable evidence and the profound shift in Eris and Alara's own research focus slowly began to sway the scientific community. The Temple of the Whispering Stones remained untouched, a beacon of light in the heart of the Amazon. Its secret wasn't a hidden treasure, but a timeless lesson that the greatest riches lie not in what we take, but in the wisdom we uncover and the harmony we strive to achieve with the world around us. And Eris Thorne, The man who had sought a lost civilization found instead the blueprint for a better future.